Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Khabri with me, Adi and Rishi. We've got one more day before the start of the IPL. It is exciting, bro. Like I don't know how to tell you guys, but there's that finally that excitement that it's there's no better time in the cricketing calendar than the IPL. It's really exciting. It gets everyone together, everyone to watch these games. It's a lot of fun. But before we move into the IPL, we'll of course make our predictions. But before we make our predictions, we have to discuss the rule changes that have been brought in, how they could potentially affect the season, and whether it's good or not in general. And what do you guys think about it? Um, the first one, for the first time since COVID, saliva can be applied on the ball. We know like how bowlers have been asking for this. It has been like well documented, pretty mainstream issue since like the saliva ban came to place in COVID. The IPL is, I think, one of the only tournaments where you're going to see the saliva ban revoked. You still don't see it in any ICC competition. And I'm not too sure about other major T20 franchise leagues, but I have read that the IPL is one of the first or the first major competition to allow it. Rishi, bro, like, yeah, just on the saliva ban, what do you make of it? I mean, it being revoked, big win for the bowlers because,
A huge
yeah,
win for the bowlers
yeah,
because like already this was becoming a lot more batter friendly game. It was already becoming a run fest throughout, and they removed the only option that the bowlers had to, like, get shine on one side or both sides if needed, and then suddenly they're asked to restrict that to just sweat. Like, that is, yeah, it's of course you can like, shine the ball with sweat, but it's very limited, like, compared to, yeah, how much saliva can make a difference. It was a huge difference for the bowlers, and you could see players like Shami. I think Shami immediately put up the some Instagram story saying that, okay, now cricket is back or something like that. Like, you could see how much it meant to the bowlers, bro. I feel it's a huge difference. Like, the finally, like, you are getting to see some benefits for the bowlers as well. Like, all, like, they decided to keep the impact sub rule. I feel that was again one more, like, heavy blow for when it comes to bowlers, because now they're having an extra batter to bowl to, and of course you
yeah.
have both sides, but yeah, at the end of the day bowlers are going for big runs, so it was always going, like, becoming a more uphill battle for the bowler. So I think this, like, it's not exactly a huge advantage, but it's still something is better than nothing. And to bring back a rule which already existed, which the bowlers are comfortable with, I think it's a big advantage for them.
Yeah, Adi, what do you make now of the saliva rule? Like finally having it back.
For me, I look at it in the other way because there is a reason why it's banned from ICC itself. It's not just something that's related to, like IPL or something related to India. It's not there anymore in cricket, and the well documented that a lot of players have been ball tampering, and you can easily ball tamper with saliva because
No, no, no. Saliva. The saliva is not because of the ball
you
tampering.
can, you can.
Adi,
So I'm
you
not
can
wrong.
ball tamper regardless. The
No, no,
saliva
no.
rule did not start because of ball tampering. It is because of COVID.
Because, no, but after that, also the whole point is COVID's been 2 years now. Why couldn't they bring it back? The whole point
Yeah,
is
yeah.
you
So
can
that is the
ball tamper.
question.
Point is you can ball tamper because you've seen guys like Faf already get fined and get caught for ball tampering based on saliva. The whole point is you can do it, and it is possible with saliva. It's more possible than sweat. The only reason they let you do it is sweat is it's a totally different thing. With saliva, you can have something in your mouth. No one's going to come and check what is in your mouth. Like, my point is, it can get prone to ball tampering. I'm not saying everyone's going to do it, but the
I
opportunity is there. It is there. It's well
I
documented that
don't think I don't. I think that's a major long shot. Like it is possible, but it's
how
a
is it a
very
long
very
shot?
long
Bro,
shot
if
because
it's if
It's just
someone's
a
going to
ball
use something
shot.
from their mouth, or like end up doing something that Shahid Afridi used to do, like bite the ball and all,
yeah,
like
like
it's going
yeah.
to be caught in like one of the 50
It will be
cameras if
caught
there.
these days. And dude,
No,
and
bro.
out of these instances of ball tampering that has happened with like where it's gum or something like that, basically it is gum or like lozenges that eventually like tamper the ball.
Yeah.
You have always been caught. Like it's
No,
almost
my
like
point is, it is you're
impossible.
opening the avenue now to do it based on you letting saliva. The whole point is it was not there now. My whole point is letting saliva come back into the game. Almost every player eats some form of gum mint. We've all seen it. It's not something not prone to be happening. Maybe sometime it happens without us even knowing. And again, like it is an unfair advantage to a bowler compared to a batsman because you're putting elements of the game which is outside, the natural part of the game, like letting saliva come into the game. And again,
No,
it's
I
just
would
not
say that saliva has always been a part of the game. It has
dude,
never
but that's the
been
whole
an
point.
outside
The whole
element.
point is saliva plus something in your mouth, which we can never identify. It's easy to tell us. Some people have gotten caught, but out of the 100 cases that have been caught, there are 1,000 cases that no one has been caught. Like that's my whole point. Like the whole point is you're allowing something that, for me at least, is another element outside the game of skill. You're putting in, if guys like Shami come and says, yeah, now like I need saliva to aid myself to, swing the ball or etc., which you can already do with a natural ball. Like I don't think you need to add certain things which can be legal. Like that's my whole point. In a sport, if you're trying to ban in terms of like stop uh ball tampering, I think saliva banning was literally very smart because now for a fact no one can do anything about it, and it's not a need. Like there is no need to have saliva on the ball, like if it's a
No,
matter of
there is
fact.
a, I would say there is a need. Like it's again, this is not me saying it. This is science, literally. The saliva effect is a lot more heavy than what you get from sweat, which makes the ball move for longer in the game.
Exactly, but my whole
So
point is you're using
Saliva
saliva to
is a
ball move.
denser liquid than sweat,
yeah,
so
that's
the shine
what is
stays on for
the
longer.
shine stays on for
That's the whole
longer. So
point. Like I feel like you're using something external to make something of you for your gain advantage, and which shouldn't be there. For example, I've never seen a batsman saying, "I need a aluminium bat to hit sixers," like etc. It's just simple. Like I come to bat, I bat. That's it. I don't need extra aid for me to bat. Like as a bowler, you can swing the ball without having saliva. Like why do you need extra aid of saliva to come
that
in?
has got nothing to do with the bowlers. That is
Yeah,
just pure
well,
science.
like it,
If there is
it's
if the ball
it's
is if
not
there is
your
no
side.
lacquer, it will
But it's
swing.
not like
No,
It's
they're
it's
not
not.
not
saying
your
they need
sense.
to use, like, it's not like bowlers are saying they need to use like lubricants or like you
Yeah,
need
They are.
moisturizing creams to
They
like
do it.
keep the shine on.
It is literally why they want it back. The point is like it's just not shine. My point is if they're keeping the shine, they're getting an advantage based on that shine. So now it's bowlers is not based on skill. It's based on how the ball behaves. It's not like you don't have to be the most skillful bowler to swing the ball. Now, if you just are able to handle the ball better, you can swing the ball, and that's my
It's
whole point.
not
Like
like
it comes down to
it's not
skill
like you
also.
add saliva to the ball and everyone turns into
yeah,
Wasim
that doesn't
Akram.
happen. Like yeah,
I'm not,
it
bro. My
just
point is not. It
it just
is
helps
prone. It's
swing the
more
ball for
prone
like
to.
another over or two. It's not. It's just
Yeah,
a small
Rahul.
advantage.
12 balls in a T20 is a lot. Like, again, it is matters when you're talking about just 2 overs. You can't just say,
Nah,
oh,
it
it's
doesn't
just two
matter,
overs
bro.
extra.
I
Like,
think I
that's
think
you're a good bowler. Why do you need saliva, bro? Why can't you just go and ball? Like, why
bro,
why do you
because
need
it
to?
you need more, you need science to help you. You can't just be a good bowler and say I'll swing the ball
What
when
do you
it's
mean,
like
bro?
30
You
over 20.
realize
It doesn't happen. You
saliva is
need
not
you need
eating
natural.
gum.
It is.
It is science. You need natural elements
Okay, but
to help you swing the
how
ball.
is
How do you think the
sweat
ball
allowed
swings?
but signs as well saliva not allowed?
Sorry.
How is sweat allowed but saliva not
Yeah,
allowed?
how is
I
sweat
just
not an
went back to
extension?
the fact that saliva, bro, you're ending up chewing gum. And my whole point is, guys like Fap have
No,
already
no,
been
but
caught
you said it's
all
an external
tampering.
element. Why is sweat not an external element then?
It is true, bro. That's my point. In
Huh.
sweat, you're not having sugar spread out of your body and
No, no, no,
putting on.
no. Imagine you
Okay,
said
so
why do you need saliva
so
to swing the ball? Why do you
let
need
me put
sweat to swing the
these two
ball?
scenarios. Like let me put it out this way. So when somebody is say using saliva, okay, the chances are that he or she is going to use, like, again, minute chances, he or she is going to use gum or lozenges to get scratches on the ball or whatever.
It's not
Now,
scratches. You're making the ball heavier because
okay, you
sugar water
or you
is
are
heavier.
okay. Of course, you are using the liquid to make the balls or stay shinier for a little bit longer. Okay, or you can use the lozenge crystals, whatever, to even bring, like, make the surface rough on one side for the reverse swing. Now, if you are using sweat, the players who are using the sweat like this, now I can say the case that, okay, like, these players are having heavy cream on their faces, on their hands. Now they are taking the same cream and they're applying it on the ball and maintaining the shine that way. Like, how is this any different from that?
But is that science backed? Like, do you why
That
why
is
am I
science back. That is
in
science
what?
back.
Can you show me like actual papers that say that it is science backed? If moisturizer off your skin, which we don't know each player puts or not,
Not
comes
skin
on the
again.
ball,
Why
that
can't the player
doesn't.
like so you're telling me at one player in an 11-member team can't use moisturizer,
No,
which a
Rishi, my whole
moisturizer
point is,
is
have you, are there, is there ICC? There are people who are already governing. Have there been, you know, prior proper research based on this? Have there been researches based on proving that, putting a moisturizer, putting something else can change the ball, can make it heavier on one side, can do other things? Is there a proof? If there is proof, fair enough. Maybe we have to have a conversation then. Right now, I've never heard any conversation from anyone in cricket saying sweat should not be allowed. But I know there's been a lot of conversation before about saliva. There's been a lot of conversation about having mint or something like gum, which contains sugar, which contains something which is more heavier than just your saliva because it has more things that it contains, and it's been banned. And like players have been fined. So my whole point is like you're opening the prospective of it happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen every game, but now it's open. Like, why has ICC banned it till now? If you're only saying COVID is the only reason, it's been 2 years at least 2 good years. Like, they could have removed the ban and they've never taken it out. I don't think anyone has really had a conversation saying we need to bring saliva back. And again, if you're a good bowler, I don't think you need to have the aid of external factors like saliva, because I don't think batsmen get the same external aid. We go back to bowlers. I think every bowlers need every extra bit of aid which the batters don't get. Batters just I just go with my bat. I try to bat because of my skill.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, as it is in the T20 game, batters do get external aid, which is the pitch itself. You don't
External aid.
get
Rahul,
you don't get
are you saying if
tricky.
the pitches
One
if
second,
the
let me
pitches
finish. You don't one
no,
second.
it's not
You don't get
50,
let me
50. I'm
finish.
sorry to say that.
Let me finish.
It's not
You
true.
don't get tricky wickets anymore where it is extremely like dry turning
No, just
wickets.
see
You
what
get
happened.
most of the grounds today are flat. You literally get like absolute belters. You go Eden Gardens, Chinnaswamy, you go to Mumbai, Delhi,
That's not true.
everywhere you get flat wickets. Gujarat, you will score runs. And
Bro, that's not, I'm sorry to
and
say, but
you
that's
have
not
an
true.
extra batter
Hey,
as
that
a
is
form of
again
impact
that is
sub.
but this is
external aid.
I don't agree to this one bit because
Okay.
firstly, if you want to talk facts, we can just go back to Champions Trophy. When India played in Dubai, it was a total baller friendly track.
I'm
If you
talking
want to
about
put it,
T20
let
cricket.
me finish. And it comes down to T20. You put the same
Hmm.
T20 stadium like Chinnaswamy. When India versus New Zealand had a test match, it was a total pure baller friendly pitch. My whole point is the only
There's a
fact is
difference in how a pitch
let me
behaves in
finish.
4 hours and how a pitch behaves for 10 hours and for
Bro,
5 days.
Richie, the 5-6 hours they played in the first Chinnaswamy Test match, it was literally a bowler-friendly track. It was so good for bowlers. It was literally easy to play. And again, it comes down to each team the way they want to curate the pitch, and each stadium how they want to curate the pitch. I'm not going to sit and are you going to come and tell me Chepauk is a batting paradise? I've never heard of that. Ekana Stadium last year, do you think that's a batting paradise? No. Ahmedabad Stadium, it's not a batting paradise.
Ahmedabad is,
Sorry,
buddy.
it
Ahmedabad
is
is.
not. Now it is,
It is.
bro.
It literally is,
I
bro.
I remember 2 years ago, like they had to chase what 120 runs in some odd number. It's not
No,
the
so
best,
you can have bad batting performances just because one game you
bro.
saw some 120 chase down or whatever, it doesn't prove anything. Even
It proves
Chinnaswamy
that it
had
can be
120
both.
games.
It proves that it can be both. So my whole point is, I don't agree
Oh
with the
my
fact that.
god, 1 out of 10 games is not proving the point.
Are you saying only 1 out of 10 games? Do you know what the
Yes,
average score of
yes,
Ahmedabad?
yes,
Can you tell
yes,
me the average score
yes.
of
I mean,
Ahmedabad?
I'm talking about what I've seen from my eyes.
Exactly.
If I
What if
want to
we
pull
see?
out, I'll try and get the facts. I'll try and get the average score of
I've seen games
Ahmedabad
which
out.
is very slow. Like last year, I remember when the RCB game was very tough to bat. It was not an easy track to bat at, like in my opinion. Anyways,
Okay.
overall, like it is not an easy bat. Not every pitch is batter friendly. Like I don't agree with that. There are certain pitches which are bowler friendly. Again, Rajasthan Royals is another. In Rajasthan, it's a very difficult track to bat on. It is a slow track to bat. Even to an extent, even in Punjab, it's not easy to bat. So you have certain stadiums like Eden Gardens, Wankhede, that has historically been very batter friendly tracks. It's just the way that it works. Hyderabad, Bangalore, like overall, I think it's very well balanced. I think just because the bowlers are maybe not as good as they used to be before, maybe the batsmen have gotten better. Is the only reason you we are getting 250, 260. It was not just down to the track. Like I just don't accept saying it's a flat track and that's why it's a batter friendly pitch. Like bro, there are a lot of T20 games that was playing. You were playing at 120, 130 last year also. So I think it's a
When
bit
show
of
me
both.
which game you saw 120, 130 in the IPL.
I literally remember if
So
like
you're telling me
RCB.
one out of 20 games you're getting a 120 game. That is not aiding the bowlers.
No. I'm not. I'm saying it depends on the stadium, bro. The teams want to have batter friendly pitch. That's what I'm
So
alluding to. I'm not.
that's exactly what I'm saying. So when there you can aid the batters,
But
why
it's not
can you
every
not
team,
have
Rahul. It's
saliva to
not
aid the
every team.
bowlers?
But it's not every team. So it comes down to the team. Now, if Bangalore, if Chinnaswamy, if Hyderabad wants to have a batter friendly pitch, you can't sit and say, oh, now you have to aid the bowlers because you are deciding to put a batter friendly pitch. It is a team who's doing it. It's up to you. You know you have batsmen and bowlers. It's up to you how you want to curate the pitch. So I don't understand this thing. If it was a bowler friendly pitch, are you doing something to aid the batsman then? We don't do that. My whole point is this double standards of when batsmen, it's a batter friendly pitch, then we all that, oh, you have to give two bouncers, you have to give this, you have to give another new ball, etc. But when it's a baller friendly pitch, I've never heard anyone say, okay, you have to do something for batsmen. It's never a conversation. And I'm sorry, that's the hypocrisy of cricket, unfortunately. But it's true. Like, if it's a bowling friendly pitch, everyone gets it. Everyone talks about, it's a batsman, they need to use the skills. If it's a slow turner, you have to play with your own skills. That's what I remember was last T20 World Cup. It was literally that. Like, that was the conversation. But when it's a if it's a batter friendly pitch, no one talks about skills. I think you can still, like last year, I am sorry to say, but it was very poor bowling overall. Like I was critical about the bowlers last year because they were like, oh, we're not getting anything. Okay, we just need aid us, bro. Just take out the impacts up, take out everything. But I remember the same bowlers like Siraj, Yash Dayal, for example, second half of the season, they improved. And the pitches were pretty similar, but they still improved. They went to Hyderabad last year. I think they were able to restrict them to 170, 180, if I'm not wrong. My whole point is if you can improve your bowling, you can also use that skills and showcase in these difficult conditions. And that's the fact. Like it is for at least my opinion, that's how I see it.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, but I just don't agree. I don't see. Uh, I don't think pitches have been curated for the bowlers in T20 cricket at least like over the years.
No, Ikana
It's
Stadium
getting
was bowler
yeah,
friendly.
that's like one ground. So that's what again. That's my
But
point. Like
Rahul, my
one out
point
of
is it
ten
comes
grounds,
down to the teams,
one out
right?
of 10 grounds is unfortunately not good enough for
It's
me
again, it's
personally.
not a fact. It's not 1 out of 10. But my point is, it comes down to the teams. If the team wants it, like if RCB want to curate a pitch which is very easy to bat on, it is the team's problem. It's not the
I agree.
bowler's
I'm
problem.
not. I'm no. But there is also always external pressure saying that you have to have good batting wickets, good batting wickets, good batting wickets. And I personally, I'm not a big fan of it. And like even I can give you so many examples. Like there was the so Joy Bhattacharya and Harsha Bhogle were doing the preview, and Joy said, "Oh, it's an absolute belter. Like it's going to be this, that, amazing." When he was describing the wicket at Eden Gardens, and I was like, okay, like that's and Gaurav Kapoor and both Harsha Bhogle were like, yeah, that's well and good. Like it's great that it's a batter friendly, but the games that go to 250, 260 are not the ones that are interesting. The ones that are at 180, 190, 170, they are the ones that are
What?
fun. They are the ones that make the
No,
contest a lot
I'm
closer. And I agree
sorry.
with them.
No, it's both. It is both. I'm sorry.
No, I
Looking at
don't think
last
so.
year,
That's
no,
my personal opinion. I
last
just don't
year,
think I don't think
Punjab literally chased 260 last year and they did it
yeah,
within
so it happened Adi, that
9 10
happens
balls.
once in
No,
ages.
bro.
You don't
No,
get
I
220,
remember
220
RCB.
plus chases a lot. It
No, I'm
doesn't
sorry,
happen.
but I remember even RCB almost chased down to this thing, and it was an
Almost
air.
is a great, almost is great, but
That's
the
the,
chase doesn't
no, that's the
complete.
whole point. What's the difference between saying almost chasing 260 and almost chasing
Rather,
120?
the
The whole
point is
point is,
most times you don't chase them down. It doesn't get that close, and I agree. This is what I've seen over the years, and I agree.
so are you
And for
saying
the
most of
longest
the
time, we
time when
did
you
have a
score,
220 plus chase in the IPL, and it's for a
are you
reason.
saying, are you saying scoring 120 most of the times you don't chase that down? Like you, most of the times you chase that down also. You don't defend that most of the time. So like, what's the difference?
No, the point
If
is
you
there
look
are
at
a
both
lot
ends
more
of
200
spectrum,
plus scores, lot more 200 plus
yeah,
scores than
but
the
tomorrow let's
120s.
say okay, so let's
And
say
that's the
tomorrow.
difference. So that's
So are
math,
you?
I guess, again. But
No,
yeah,
it's not. My point is
let's move it on, I guess, like from this.
interesting.
We're not getting anywhere with this, but yeah, for Saraiva, I just think big win for the bowlers. Even if you get that shine on for that couple of extra overs, I think it's worth it because again, just the way that the game is going these days, that little extra would
By the
not
way,
I would not
yeah,
mind.
I just want to add
Um,
one thing. Application of zinc oxide and other moisturizing creams like Vaseline is banned by ICC, by the way. Just
Yeah,
wanted to
that means
I
I don't
want
think
if
I
it
really have it.
doesn't
No,
make
it
a
does
difference,
because
then
you
I
can
want to
never
buy.
tell if somebody's used Vaseline. Like, how will you tell?
Exactly.
Why have they banned it? There's a reason. Maybe you're not allowed. They might have checks prior. Like you are you are we sitting and saying we know
Yeah,
the
that's my
protocol?
point. That's my
That is the whole
exactly my
point.
point. So now if a cricketer wears it on his again, now how are you going to like run some tests on a player just before he enters the
There is
field to know
no
if he's
test
worn
run on
Vaseline?
player to check Vaseline. I
My
think so.
point is, do you guys
Exactly.
know? Are you guys talking this because you know it, or you're talking because you're trying to just think, okay, we might do this or they might do this? Like that's my point.
No, if you're saying
Guys, have you guys
if you're
gone
saying
behind
a
the scenes
player
and see?
has chances of like scamming with lozenges, I'm saying it is equally possible, it is equally probable that he or she can just use
It's not.
zinc oxide or like
But
say what is it,
but my whole point
moisturizing
is,
cream.
if
It
it's
is
banned,
equally
there's a
probable.
total.
I'm not saying they're going to do it or they're not going to
It's
do. I'm
not
saying it
the
is equally
same.
probable.
It's not the same. You're saying if something's banned, it's not the same as like gum is not banned, bro. Like mint is not banned from chewing. Like it's two different things. You can still chew gum. Like you can still eat mint. Like it's not banned from cricket, if I'm not wrong. The whole point is if
Same.
they're banned,
Applying Vaseline on faces is not banned for cricketers.
you just said it's banned like 2 seconds ago.
On the ball, I said on the ball.
Bro,
But
so you're saying putting Vaseline on the skin versus putting Vaseline on the ball is equivalent?
no, I'm saying my point is you are saying okay, if you allow them to use saliva, they're going to
No,
use
no.
whatever
You said
gel that comes from the uh, what is it, gum, and retain the shine. So I'm saying the players might as well just use Vaseline on their which they apply on their face. They can just take some of that and apply on the ball. It's equally probable.
exactly. Exactly. My point is, again, it comes down to are you saying putting Vaseline on the ball versus putting
Hmm.
Vaseline on any part of your body and taking sweat out of that is the same as
You're
putting
not
Vaseline on the
taking
ball.
sweat out.
Bro, you're telling,
You realize I can just apply on some part of the neck and I can just take it like this, like literally just take a dab like this and apply it on the ball. And
but once you
one
put,
layer of Vaseline is gonna have a lot of effect because the air, the moisture is trapped
and
inside.
you're saying the Vaseline on the ball, now no one's going to be able to identify. You realize
Of
umpires hold the
course
ball
not.
after. Bro, Vaseline on the ball, it's going to be scraped out. And you realize umpires hold the ball every time. They don't give it to the batsman. After every over, they take the ball. After every wicket, they take the ball. Literally, they hold the ball. You're saying they're not able to identify Vaseline.
But,
Firstly, if we're talking hypothetically like that.
but
Secondly,
they
you're
won't
saying,
be able to identify the
wait, wait,
cream
wait,
or
wait.
whatever that comes from the, I mean, the gel that comes from the gum.
Bro, the point is with saliva is different from moisturizer because it is once it's on your skin, once it's anywhere on a surface, you're able to scrape it out. You're not able to scrape out saliva. It's two different things. So again, it's one of the biggest stretch. First of all, to come and say, putting you can just like put Vaseline here, take it, and then rub it on the ball.
No,
Like
but it's a
that
very
happens.
gray area. It's a very gray area in the
I'm
sense that
But
saying
it's not
even
the
if
same.
it's not like
no,
if you
even if
open
you
the
have
floodgates
Vaseline
for
mixed with
saliva,
sweat,
then you're gonna one the chances of cheating is gonna increase 100%. I'm saying that chances of cheating, if you want to cheat, this avenue is right there. It's not like these bowlers
Game.
were waiting for saliva to open up so that they can commit whatever they want.
yeah,
It's again I'm coming down to not sitting and saying now you put saliva everyone's going to do it. I'm saying you've opened an avenue. Players might do it, players might not do it. That's a different thing. Like it's
that's what
up,
he's also
up
saying that the
like
avenue is open from a Vaseline perspective also that you can
bro,
have
you're telling
Vaseline
it's
and
firstly banned. You're saying putting Vaseline on the ball is banned. I think that is like common sense. I don't think anyone does it anyways. Like, are you saying before they used to put Vaseline on the ball and ball?
no,
Like,
So it is also
the
understood
point
that
is
you are not supposed to use
any
anything
form of
external that
Vaseline. Yeah.
includes lozenges, that includes nectars or juices
but it's
coming
not
from
banned, Rishi.
gum.
Like, have you banned like chewing gum from the game? Like, that's my whole point. It's two different things. You're
Have
saying,
you
bro,
banned using
No,
Vaseline on players'
you can.
faces? No,
but
you haven't.
again, do you know it? Like, how do you know they've not banned Vaseline? How do you know they've not banned zinc
No,
oxide, for
they
example?
haven't because they haven't. There is
Zinc.
no. What do you
What do you
mean?
think
How do you
Mohammad
know?
Rizwan puts on his face every time he comes to play? He puts on his
Yeah, that
lips.
is
That's
zinc
zinc
oxide.
I
oxide.
What
have no
Rizwan
clue. Like,
uses.
I have no clue. I'm not like in
No,
science to know how it works.
that
Like,
is zinc oxide. Like
That,
what
like
Rizwan
the
uses
cream,
is
the
zinc
white
oxide.
cream these guys put is zinc. That is zinc oxide cream.
Yeah.
okay, but my whole point is there are a lot of creams that can look like that. Again, we don't
No,
know
that
and we
brother,
can't.
that is zinc oxide. We are not. This is not
Are you?
conversation. This
No, no,
is
no.
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
is
what's.
this is not like zinc oxide. The whole purpose is you don't like they use zinc oxide for a reason, and that is they're not gonna
what?
use any
Why do they put it
random
on?
like white
Why do they
cream
put it on
under
their
the.
face? Example, why do they put zinc oxide on their face? Let's try to look at that. Like, what are you trying to allude? Why are they putting zinc oxide on the face? Are you calling it a sunscreen? I think you get zinc oxide free sunscreens also. We don't know. Maybe the cricket moved on in terms of behind the scenes where they banned zinc oxide. Like maybe it's a different form of sunscreen that they wear now, and we think it's zinc oxide. Like that's my whole point. I don't know what the measures are there. I can't sit and talk about it. I can talk about the measures that's already in state and why it's been there. Like that's the whole point. I've never heard anyone getting banned or like got caught or like even come out and said like you ball tampered because you put Vaseline on your like body and then the sweat came on the ball, etc. Like I've never seen it. If it happened, then we have to create protocols for that. What from what I've seen, saliva has been a big talk. It's not only today, bro. Like since a long time, like even in the Ashes, they were talking about how the Australians were trying to tamper with the ball. English people were trying to tamper. It's been a long
Me
conversation.
personally,
I think even Dravid was a thing. Like if I'm not wrong,
yeah, that
like
was long back. It was in 2003 or
exactly,
4.
exactly.
But
So my
my
point is, you're
point is
opening that avenue. That's it.
that, bro, so that is what even he's saying. To zinc oxide, it is used. Like I'm like even today it's used. If you
Zinc
can,
oxide
if you want to,
is a
that can
key
mix with
ingredient
sweat and you can
for
apply. Like
this one,
it's
a
always there.
sunscreen. Yeah,
So it's never it's not. My point is, bro. Like regardless,
So are you saying
even if
because
even if
sweat is
bro,
there, you should allow
okay,
saliva?
huh?
So you're saying because sweat is there now, you have to allow saliva also to be a point of like.
no,
I
saliva
mean,
was already always
No, the
there.
point is,
It
dude.
was
Like
not
the
restricted
whole
because of a ball tampering purpose. It was restricted because of like
COVID. Yeah.
COVID purpose.
bro, but that's my point. COVID's been 3 years, 2 years, if you want to put it. Why has it not been lifted? Like it's as
No,
simple
it's
as that.
simply
Why?
it's probably simply for hygiene issue. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on it. I
They're
have no
putting
idea
sweat
why the
on. Like, what's the
ICC.
difference between
I
sweat?
don't know.
You
I'm
can't
admitting
tell
I
me.
don't know why the ICC has not done
Yeah.
it.
So
But so why has the BCCI done it if it was that big a ball tampering problem, they
as
also
you
should not
guys
have done
said,
it.
it's just to aid the ballers. It's as simple as that. Like
Yeah,
we
that's
all
what
know why it
it
is.
is.
Like, that's why
Because
we.
saliva traditionally has been a
Yeah.
natural element in the game, and it's very hard for
But
bowlers to not work with it.
no,
And
but
yeah,
that's
what
my
you're
point.
saying,
Like batsmen are not allowed to put grease or like put certain things on the bat. Example, I'm just giving an example. Like it's like why do ballers need so much for them to like be able to go ball? Try to use variations, bro. You already have two bounces now. You're getting a new ball, which we have to talk about that. Now you are getting saliva. You're getting how many more aids do you need? For a good
I
bowler,
don't
you
think
don't.
it's that
Like I
much,
don't think
bro. I
Bumrah.
don't think
I
it's
don't
that much
think
of an aid. It's just a
it
natural
is.
element in the game that's
No,
always been there. It's not
but
that
the
deep.
top
I don't
bowlers
even
never
think it's
needed
that
it.
deep.
For example, like
It's,
talk about Bumrah. Does he need certain things like Rabada last year? I don't think he needed saliva to be like, okay, now I can ball. Like certain, if you're a good bowler, you don't need aids. Like it's as simple as
Not
that.
every team has
yeah,
Bumrah and Rabada.
I guess
It's not
that's
about that, Rishi. The whole point is you can't because you're not a good bowler. Let's give you
it's not about
assistance.
not brother. You're saying other than Bumrah and Rabada, there are no other good bowlers. Like of course there are. Like
I'm
the
giving an
point is
example.
you will have the best. Like they're freaks. Like there is no way you can like put them in the same bracket as even like a good chunk of good bowlers, right? They're at the very top. They're at that point because they're extraordinary. But for a large part of the good bowlers who are in the middle, it is probably a very important element. And it's not
But
me saying
again,
probably an important
why are
element.
we talking?
Everybody
Why
has said it.
But why are we talking like they're like every batsman's a world class batsman here and they're gonna like smash out of the park? Like, I don't think the quality of batting is that great. Also, like to be fair, like you look at the batsman, it's not like you're sitting and talking with these guys are gonna smash us every ball.
Yeah,
The
it
point
is
is,
becoming
if you're a
real
good
because
bowler,
of
you
the
can.
way the wickets are, because of the way that the number of rules that have already come in, like for like extra batting, whatever the impacts are and all of
What do
that.
you mean? Again, bro, impact sub, dude. Again, I don't agree with this because impact sub is not a batter friendly rule. Every team has an option. The game itself revolves in we have to score runs, and that's why they use an extra batter. It's not a matter of
Okay,
if you really want an extra bowler, you can use an extra bowler. Nobody's
fine.
stopping you.
Let's not go into impact sub again. But yeah, moving on to the next one, which is the new ball rule. So the rule is that if umpires deem that in the second innings that dew has really set in, that in the 11th over you have the option of changing the ball. Of course, they're not going to give you a new ball, but you'll get a dry ball, which is that many overs old or whatever. That's the funda. That's the rule. What do you guys think about this?
And this applies only for the night games and not, of course, not for
Yeah,
afternoon
yeah, of
games
course,
because there's
night games.
no.
That's night games given, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to open a whole, like, the whole fan base, every fan base, whichever, whoever team gets to use the ball, they are going to be like, they're going to be happy, and the losing team is going to end up blaming it on it. They just have one more reason to, like, criticize. They're going to be like, oh no, the umpires are doing this, they're doing that. Now imagine the umpires for two consecutive teams on two consecutive days. For one team, they do not deem it as okay, the ball is not, like, there's not enough due, and then the other, like, for the next game, the same umpire, or like 2 days later, the same umpire says, okay, there is enough due. It's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to open all sorts of narratives, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is not the, again, the standards of the game, the laws of the game are not, they've given a very, wide area for people to exploit, a very big gray area for people to exploit. Like, don't really think this was that necessary, because how, like, again, if you're giving an old new ball, or rather a new old ball, it's going to take, if there really is due, it's going to take another, what, like five balls for the ball to become wet
Apparently,
again.
3 overs. 3 overs is what it takes. So you get 11 to 13 until it gets fully like wet again for spinners to grip.
Bro, if there is dew, it's not just dew from the atmosphere. The dew is going to come the minute the ball rolls on the field.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
the
But
minute anyone hits the ball on the ground, like, of course, like, the ball is not going to be as slippery, but you're not going to get the relatively old new ball that you get in your hand is not going to be the same for three whole overs.
mm,
Like, probably 1 over you're going to have a real difference, and then the second and third over, it is eventually going to go back to that state. So you're
mm,
getting, say, 1 or 1.5 overs of, like, new ball. And I think the controversies that might, hopefully doesn't, but the controversies that will come eventually, saying that, okay, like, these umpires are not giving us the benefit of doubt. How are they going to decide there is enough due or not? If there is an option, you have to just make it simple, black and white. Like, every captain should be allowed to
yeah.
use it. You can't just leave it down to the umpires. I think that is going to create a lot of
Yeah,
talk.
it is subjective. So it is going to be very like obviously that might create controversy and all. But Adi, like, what do you think about this, Duff?
Bro, it's the same thing. I think this is even more stupid. Like, I have to just say it's a stupid rule. Because if you're saying, again, there is no real need for a second ball, whole point is in a night game, the first inning, like team that, balls in the first innings, and this is only for second innings, it's not for both the innings.
Yeah, yeah,
Some places dew comes very early. We've seen it. It's not like it only comes after 9:30 where you're playing the second innings. Sometimes it comes pretty early. Sometimes it's always there, like since the first game, like first 3-4 overs of the first like innings itself. My whole point is why it becomes a bit of an unfair advantage for the team that balls second maybe. Ball second, yeah, it becomes a more of an advantage because just for the fact that okay, like the team that balls first doesn't have the advantage of getting a newer ball like for 3-4 overs. Like imagine having a relatively dry ball and a spinner coming and taking two important wickets in those 3 overs in the second innings is going to be a huge difference maker because this is a very short format. Like taking a wicket or two is huge. Like, and the whole point is one team has the accessibility to it. The team that bats first or balls first, sorry, doesn't have it. Like sometimes dew comes early. Are you going to sit and predict like when dew comes? It's just not fair to sit and say the team that balls the second innings always gets the opportunity of a second new ball, and they get it based on the umpire's decision. Again, this is even more worse because it's as simple as Rishi said, bro. One day, one game, you're like, okay, the team gets a new ball. Just for a matter of fact, let's say like Mumbai Indians, you know, bowling second innings of a match, and we know how it works in Mumbai Indians, right?
It's
Sometimes,
always Mumbai Indians.
yeah, you guys give. If I'm not wrong, no balls are not counted for Mumbai Indians or something like that. If I'm not wrong, right? So like my point is like we've seen it before. Like they might just even tosses if I'm not sure. Like they had to change tosses last year. If I just have to think about it. So yeah, like point is if Mumbai Indians get a new ball, the bowling second, and they get a new ball, and the next day another set of umpires in another area are not going to give a new ball and maybe dew comes, let's say in the last 30-40 minutes of that match. We don't know how it's going to work. Are you going to sit and say, yeah, like look at this game, there was a
Bro, does it
controversy?
even have to be that? Like, now assume, Adi, you are the umpire. Okay. Like, for, again, say Mumbai Indians, you give, like, your on match day 3, you give the new ball to Mumbai Indians. On match day 7, or match day 5, you yourself have to umpire. And again, you don't happen to give. Every other fan base is going
Even
to be like,
venue
oh,
also,
you're going to give it. Yeah, you're going to give like the same umpire Aditya is going to give the benefit of doubt to this team, but not to this team. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of pressure on umpires, bro. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not
and
going to be a simple due factor. They're going to have to play the political game of like, okay, I have to balance the number of times I've given the ball, like given the new ball, I have not given the new ball. I don't think it's simply going to be, um, yeah, like is it
and
going to be due or not due?
yeah, and I don't think it's such a huge like net positive in terms of giving 2 3 overs of a dry ball and then again going to be wet. Like you're not really alluding the fact that there's a solution where like okay now the ballers are not losing grip because of the dew. It's still going to be there. It's just delaying the effect from like the 11th over maybe to like the 14th over. Like it's still very short amount of space. Like, and my point is in those 3 overs, the game can really turn because of the fact that one team has an advantage and the team that balls first doesn't have that advantage. And I just think it's really unfair. And I just don't understand this rule. Like, I don't know what the lawmakers were thinking even when they were putting this rule. Like, even as captains, such teams, I would have thought they would have like at least appealed at this because it's such a one of the most like ridiculous rules I've ever heard.
Yeah, for me, same. I don't think this is the greatest rule because for me, I just don't like any interference with things that are natural in the game. Like you're taking away some of the beauties of cricket, which is winning the toss. Like that element of luck you need to win the toss, to bat first. I'm sorry, to bowl first, and say no, we want to avoid the dew. Like regardless of what the wicket is looking like, there's a lot of these natural elements that go into the thinking of like any team, and I don't like the fact
Bro,
that
like,
it is intervened with. Like
uh,
it is a very natural cricket rule, cricket thing that happens, has happened for years, and it continues to happen. It has happened in ODI cricket, it has happened in T20 cricket. Seen it happen even in Test cricket in the day night in the pink ball test. It's a very natural thing, dude. Like it's okay. Like this is how it is. This is how the sport is. You can't sit and change every single thing. Like you can't sit and say, "I will repair this. I will repair this." Bro, it's literally a natural element of it. It's just like saying, "No, bro. Um, we'll make sure something happens like the rain doesn't come or like the sun doesn't beat down on the pitch to make it like nice and hard, or like we want like this to happen." Like you don't want to artificialize things too much, so I think you should just let it be, bro, the way it is. It's fine. Like, and the same thing with ODI cricket. Like I hated the fact that there's another, like there are two balls. Bro, it's one ball. It's okay, bro. Let the ball do something. Like if naturally it is going to get older and naturally you are going to get reverse swing out of it, then good. Like you're, and it's not like you get reverse. It's hard. It's a hard skill to implement, like with an old ball, to reverse the ball, right? Like, and you have to work on the ball for so many overs. These are natural elements of the game that you can't keep taking away and saying, "Oh yeah, this, that, and all." Even I
so,
don't
so
think.
are you saying they need to take out the 80 over new ball rule and test? Are you saying they should just play with one ball forever?
No, in Test cricket, it's a different story because the ball becomes very soft. Like the ball becomes extremely soft after 80 overs.
Element, no, Rahul.
Huh?
It's still a natural element.
Brother, the ball is not in good condition. There's a different story here. And 80 overs, it means that you have batted for ages. And it
But a
also
lot
means
of
that the
times,
ball
like,
is softened up a
It is
lot.
not, and
It
but,
is
but,
and
not the same
wait,
thing. It's not the
again,
same.
is
And
this
not
the
one
something
second,
same?
that
one
we
second, one
talked
second,
about
one second.
like recently.
No,
And
no,
in
wait.
general, the
That's
white
not
ball,
true.
the white ball is also harder than the red
Huh,
ball. There's a big
that's
story
fair. It
difference,
gets off, but
huge
it's not
difference,
true.
right?
But
And
it's
the
not.
red and the white ball is soaked in whatever the white coat for a lot longer. It makes it a lot more harder than the red ball. So if you
Uh,
consider all of that, the red ball rule is fine, and 80 overs
but
is like a lot of time.
but the lot. Not every time you take a new ball. Like a lot of time, teams prefer an old ball if the
Sometimes, yeah, that is
with
only when there is like
friendly
extreme.
track, etc. Yeah, so it is still a
No,
matter of
that only happens when like there's a lot of turn. But usually everyone takes the new ball. Like it's not that,
Or
that's
and
at
it's
best, they
similar,
wait out another 5 6 overs before they eventually take it.
yeah.
bro. Like in India, now you don't need a new ball. They just play with the
You
same old
no,
ball
even
forever.
in India, when they give you a chance to take a new ball, they take the new ball because it's harder and it will give you a little more bounce. And it's always the case. The softer ball doesn't bounce as much. So it's a given that a
It's
lot of the time
better
people
for
do.
bowlers to use an older ball just for the fact that if you're not getting bounce, it's more tougher for a batsman to actually bat it out. If you're getting more bounce, it's better for the batsman, right? If I'm not wrong, like technically.
No,
Not
but the
really.
ball
The
doesn't carry
difference
the
in bounce
distance.
is not
That's the
like, it's not
problem.
like the ball is going to keep low and be
Yeah,
like
it's not going to keep low.
unpredictable.
Yeah,
It's just gonna
it's just
be,
not gonna bounce
yeah, it's
properly.
gonna be very docile. Like, okay, you bang one in short, it's gonna still keep short. Like, it's not gonna come right, like rise up to your chest like
And
a crisp new ball.
the point of taking a new ball, even in India, is that it carries the ball. If it takes an edge, it goes to the slips. It carries to the slips. You won't get that with a very soft ball. And if you play with soft hands, it doesn't carry. And that's the
My
issue.
whole
But
point is that's
it's
just
a
the natural.
completely different story. But anyways, yeah, this is. But yeah, I just don't think like this should have happened. But let's move on to the last part of this, which is quickly. Let's predict. We'll just Rishi come to you then first. The top four, bro. Playoffs. Who makes the playoffs this year for you?
Ooh. Actually, I hadn't thought of it so far. Who's gonna make? I think this time Chennai is gonna make, bro. They're fairly consistent. They have it in them. Chennai, and I don't think Mumbai are gonna be there. Like, I just don't feel our squad is there yet. Hopefully they do make it. Who else is there? Who else has a yeah, Chennai, KKR. Chennai,
Bro,
KKR.
2025, bro.
Mm, bro, I don't even remember the squads. Suddenly you've asked me. Wait, let me
Okay,
see.
then I don't mind. I'll give you my four.
Yeah,
I
you
think
give.
SRH make
Oh
it.
yeah, SRH. I'm sorry. Yeah, SRH.
SRH RCB. I'm going to say MI make it, and I think KKR make it just because of the spin. But yeah,
Hmm.
Ari.
Uh, Again, firstly, it's too early. I feel like it's a bit premature to tell, just for the fact that we don't know how these pitches are going to be this year. But if it's the same pitches as last year, I'm going to say first SRH. I think this is too. I feel like they have a better balance in their bowling lineup this year than last year. They have two really well proven bowlers in Shami and Cummins. Now they have a better spinner with Rahul Chair. They have Zampa coming in. I don't know how much he'll play. They also have, Harshal Patel. I know he's a bit hit or miss and he can go 11, 12 runs and over, but he's also a wicket taker, which they missed last year. So I think that is one. Second, I think DC, bro. I think they are the strongest team in the IPL. Like they have the best spin department. I would say they have the most explosive young batting lineup of the entire tournament. I don't know if they can back the way they backed themselves last year, but looking at that team, even though they're very streaky players, most of them, if they're batting at a high level, I think they're a very good team. And again, I think they improved on the pace department this year. They have Stark, they have Natarajan also, who's come into the team. Again, very strong lineup. I think they should go at least to the playoffs. That's it. I don't think they'll win it. But next, I would put RCB just for the fact that I'm an RCB fan. I'm always going to say they're going to go through the playoffs, regardless of how bad we are or good we are, no matter what. And fourth one, I think this is very tricky. Like, I actually don't. This is where I think conditions matter more because there are certain teams where, like, their home conditions might help them more than other teams. Maybe like teams like CSK, where I think if and team comes and plays against CSK at home, it's going to be very tough for them to, lose. Let's say like CSK to lose. But it's tough for me. I think CSK might sneak in, but I just overall looking at the team, I think they're just not up there. I would put, I would personally put like Rajasthan going through like overall. Like I think they have a better. I think they're pretty much the same team as last year. They have again great talents like Jaiswal. I think Parag is another player who is pretty underrated. Like I think looking at him last year, he was pretty good. They've also gotten guys like Tikshana Archer this year. I would just push them to now, playoffs. But again, bro, like I think the fourth position, I'm really not sure. Like it can be anyone's
Hmm.
game.
Fair enough. Rishi, got your picks now.
Yes, I think CSK, SRH, KKR, and one wild one is gonna be LSG.
Wow. Okay. Orange cap quickly then. Adi.
Hmm.
I'm just going to say Virat Kohli. By the way.
Nah. It's not gonna be Virat for sure. But I don't know who, bro. Like, I think who do we have last year? Virat. Before that was what Gill, right? 2 years in a row, if I'm not wrong. Or no, it was
Hmm.
No, no, it was not 2 years. Actually, don't know, bro. There are a lot of talented players. I would just give me some time. I would think. I want to think who it could be. I would put Jaiswal to be. No, it's too tough, bro. I feel like pitches matter a lot. I would say someone like Travis Head or Ishan Kishan or Abhishek Sharma. One of these three guys.
Okay. What are the SRH guys? Rishi?
I think Travis Head.
Okay. Purple cap?
I'm
I would
only
say
believe
yes.
I'm
Huh?
only believe on Jasprit Bumrah, the game changer player.
He's never won a purple cap, right? If I'm not wrong.
I don't
Has
think
he?
he has.
Hasn't he?
In India, I don't
Last
think
year
he's ever
he was
won.
there.
I think
I
what it
don't
was
know. I
Harshal.
don't know. I don't know what the all the purple cap winners
It
are.
was Harshal Patel last year. It was Chal before that year. In India, I don't think he's ever won a purple cap. If I'm not wrong.
Damn, maybe this is the first time then.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Adi?
Uh, I would say Hazelwood, bro, just for the fact.
Um,
Like,
I was going to
what?
say Bumrah, but I think because he's going to miss the first couple of games, he might. That's where he lose it. Like I think those two
Hmm.
that will matter. So I'm just going to go on a limb and say Varun Chakravarti because he's bowling well
Oh, good
and
shout.
spinner obviously. So he'll bowl through the middle and hopefully get a few. Um, yeah, and yeah, that's that I guess for us today. Thanks guys for watching. Please like and share the video, subscribe, and we will see you soon.